Hello, I'm Charlie,
I'm Josh.
and today we're going to be running through the 6 main types of solar panels.
Yes, from poly to mono, we're going to be covering it all.
There are actually loads of other types that other people like to talk about, but we've decided to boil it down to the 6 main ones.
Let's go.
Panel number 1 is the polycrystalline solar panel. Now this was the face of green energy for many decades, the
Yes.
poster child. It's sort of fallen out of favour now, it's not really available as we'll discuss, but it would be remiss of us not to talk about it.
Yes, after all, it was the central character in solar energy's rise from obscurity to central household appliance.
Very nice. They're called polycrystalline because they are made from blending multiple silicon crystals together, so multiple poly.
Nice.
They have their blue appearance because of the multiple crystals scattering light, which gives them a speckled appearance, which is quite different to the sleek black appearance of monocrystalline panels, which we'll get onto.
Yes, understandably, this appearance caused a lot of people to not want to put them on their roofs, but as you said, we'll get onto why people love modern solar panels.
Polycrystalline solar panels are about 18 to 21% efficient. What is solar panel efficiency? Why does it matter? It is the percentage of naturally occurring daylight that a panel can convert into electricity. So all other things being equal, a more efficient panel is going to produce more electricity, better energy bill savings.
Absolutely.
Polycrystalline solar panels tend to last about 25 to 30 years, which is fine, but there are better models we're going to talk about that last longer.
There certainly are. Also, production on polycrystalline panels has now ceased entirely. The latest from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory was that polycrystalline panels are down to 0% in terms of shipped panels all over the world. Charlie, I'm looking for a word, 3 down, so 4 letters, starts with L.
Like.
And subscribe! Solar panel type number 2 is monocrystalline solar panels. These are the successor to the fallen polycrystalline solar panel. They are sleeker, they're more efficient, they're more durable, and they're more powerful.
Yes, and according to the NREL in 2023, global solar panel production was 98% monocrystalline, and that's up from 35% in 2015.
Pretty overwhelming. We have Polish scientist Jan Czochralski to thank for monocrystalline solar panels, so thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Jan.
In 1916, the 31-year-old scientist absent-mindedly dipped his pen into a crucible of molten tin instead of his inkwell.
Easily done.
Easily done. When he hurriedly withdrew it from the tin, he also withdrew a thin thread of metal, and this was a eureka moment in monocrystalline solar production.
Now, the Czochralski method was very important in the first development of monocrystalline solar cells in 1941. Turns out if you pull silicon from molten material, it will draw out the perfect crystal structure. And wonderfully, this technique is used with other materials all around the world today in the manufacturing of white goods like fridges, washing machines, and electrical appliances like TVs.
Yeah. Monocrystalline because they're made from single crystal silicon. This allows the electrons to flow more easily through the pure crystal matter, and that makes them more efficient. This also gives them a dark, smooth black appearance.
And to make them even darker, they've given them anti-reflective coatings, and that is to reduce grey hues and reduce sunlight reflection. So you've actually got more sunlight being absorbed by the panels instead of being wasted. And then to make them even blacker still, some manufacturers have removed the white grid lines from the panels. So you end up with all black monocrystalline panels that look like loads of flat screen TVs on your roof.
Perfect. These panels are the most efficient for any household at the moment. They're about 20 to 25% efficient, and they last about 30 to 40 years typically, though they might last longer. It's hard to say. They've only been on roofs for 10 or 20 years.
Yeah, any good solar panel installer in the UK will be using monocrystalline solar panels. It's as simple as that. Panel type number 3 is the thin film solar panel. This is probably the 3rd most well-known type of panel after monocrystalline and polycrystalline. You're not going to meet many people in this world who know about loads of types of solar panels.
No.
But if you do, it's probably the 3rd one they're going to mention.
Yes, absolutely. They are very aptly named. They are indeed extremely thin and quite bendy as a result. They don't really compete with the mono and poly heavyweights of the past on rooftops. They're more meant for houseboats, caravans, and motorhomes.
And more excitingly, they're also good for outer space. Their feathery lightweightness makes them great for use on extraterrestrial satellites.
That is very cool. Their development was actually kickstarted by NASA in 1961 at a research centre in Ohio.
Which research centre in Ohio?
Oh, well, that'll be the photovoltaic something something.
It's a good
Charlie.
guess. Let's put it on the screen. Thin film solar panels are about 17 to 19% efficient, and they last for about 10 or 20 years, which basically makes them less efficient and less durable than the polycrystalline and monocrystalline panels we've just talked about.
It certainly does. CDTE panels are one of the most common forms of thin film panel. In 2023 in the States, they were about 18.6% efficient, which is a massive leap up from 11% efficient in 2010.
Wow.
Yes, however, they are still inferior to mono and poly panels.
Bit of sciencey stuff. Thin film solar panels are made by layering materials like amorphous silicon, cadmium telluride, and copper indium gallium selenide.
Very cool.
Arco Solar were the first company to create the first commercially available thin film solar panel in 1986, excitingly named the G4000. And these panels have been on the market ever since.
That's very cool. Thin film panels are thousands of times thinner than regular panels. This makes them great at wrapping around curved or uneven surfaces because they're so flexible, so they can fit on your shed roof, Charlie.
Brilliant.
Number 4 on our list is transparent solar panels. Now, that sounds very futuristic and very exciting. Imagine, if you will, a glassy skyscraper where every window generates electricity.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be amazing. However, unfortunately, we're a long way off that. Currently, transparent solar panels only generate a little bit of electricity, as we'll go on to discuss.
Yes, in 2014, MSU, which stands for
Michigan State University.
very nice, came up with a 100% transparent solar panel, but unfortunately it was only 1% efficient, which is rubbish.
Yes.
They made it by using something called a transparent luminescent solar concentrator, and they used a specially treated panel of glass which was wrapped by a very narrow piece of solar material.
But when it comes to transparent solar panels, the actual technology that you can get now is much less exciting than TLSC, unfortunately. You see, transparent solar panels are basically just made of monocrystalline or thin film solar cells encased in glass. There are some ways to make this as transparent as possible, but you're never really going to get beyond 50% with current technology, as you'll still see the solar cells in the panels.
Yes, and these transparent solar panels you can actually buy are about 20% efficient, and they last about 25 to 30 years. So similar to polycrystalline panels, not bad, not amazing.
Yeah. These semi-transparent systems are already in use all over the UK, mainly on commercial buildings. They've been used as skylights, as facades, and as canopies.
Canopies above car parks.
Yeah, or bike sheds.
If you want to do a tour of the UK and have a look at some of the installed semi-transparent systems, I recommend you visit Gloucestershire County Council Hall,
That's my fave.
Bournemouth University, and of course the Barbican Theatre in London. Panel type number 5 is solar tiles. Now, we think monocrystalline panels look really nice, black, sleek, futuristic, etc. Everybody talks about that.
Yes.
There are some people that still don't like the way they look, which is why solar tiles have come into being as the ultimate aesthetic solution for people who are a bit fussy.
Yes, solar tiles, also known as solar slates or solar shingles, fully replace your roof. So instead of putting something on top of your roof, you just they become your roof.
Wild. I mean, imagine that one day you could have a building where all the windows are generating electricity and all the roof tiles are generating electricity and no one would have a clue.
That is incredible.
Now, the way they make solar tiles is a similar concept to the transparent solar panels, in that they take a monocrystalline or thin film solar cell and encase it in roof tile material. Naturally, this is going to cause a decrease in efficiency because light needs to get through roof tile material to get through to the cell.
Absolutely. That is why solar tiles are typically about 10 to 20% efficient, which when you compare that to monocrystalline panels, not great. So if you're buying solar tiles, you are buying them just for the aesthetics, not for the efficiency or performance. In terms of lifespan, they last about 25 to 30 years, which isn't bad, but isn't great.
Now, you may have heard of Tesla's solar tiles, which have acquired a fairly infamous reputation in the UK.
Yes, indeed.
Why?
Well, they were announced on the set of Desperate Housewives in 2016,
Wisteria Lane.
as you well know. And Elon Musk tweeted in spring 2019 that they would be available in the UK by summer 2019. Do we have them yet?
I don't think so.
We do not, no. They are still not available in the UK many, many years later. Fortunately, there are some other providers of solar tiles on these shores.
Now, the most sensible time to get solar roof tiles is if you're already in the process of having your roof removed and retiled.
Yes.
Because in that instance, you've already paid for scaffolding and you're not having to pay for a whole new roof and then solar panels on top. You're just paying for the roof.
Absolutely. However, if you are redoing your roof, we recommend that you choose in-roof solar panels instead. They still look great and they're much more efficient.
We've actually done a whole article on in-roof solar panels. The link is down below. Important thing to note, people who live in listed buildings who need listed building consent for solar often think that solar tiles are a good way of getting around the problem because they're more subtle. This is not necessarily true.
Yes, absolutely. In July 2024, Historic England said that though solar tiles are acceptable in some cases, they, quote, would not be suitable for prominent roof slopes where panels would also be unacceptable. The sixth type of solar panel is perovskite solar panels. These are a newish type of model. They use something called metal halide perovskites, and this is a man-made material made from organic matter, metals like lead or tin, and various chemical compounds.
Yes, there is also a natural material called perovskite, which has nothing to do with perovskite solar panels. It's not used in the manufacture of perovskite solar panels, which is all very confusing. This was discovered in the Ural Mountains in 1839. You don't need to know anything about it.
Absolutely. They fundamentally follow the same process as standard crystalline panels in that they convert photons into electricity. However, they can be made in much less energy intensive ways and they're much more efficient, and those are the two main differences.
Yes, manufacturers have also combined perovskite with silicon to create perovskite silicon tandem solar cells, and the perovskite silicon tandem solar panel has achieved a record efficiency of 30.6%, which is higher than the most efficient monocrystalline panel.
Unfortunately, perovskite solar panels also come with some pretty fundamental downsides, such as unresolved stability issues, problems interacting with moisture and oxygen, and a lifespan of about 10 years.
Yes, and as the old adage in football goes, the best ability is availability.
So true.
And perovskite solar panels are currently not available to be purchased for residential use, and it's unclear when that will ever change.
Those were the 6 types of solar panels.
And still are.
Absolutely. We would absolutely recommend monocrystalline solar panels. They're sleek, durable, efficient, and powerful.
Yes, and if you're feeling put off by the high upfront cost of solar, consider SunSave Plus, which is the UK's first solar subscription. It means you can switch to solar with no upfront costs and instead make fixed monthly payments. Your SunSave Plus system will also be backed by the SunSave Guarantee, which includes 24/7 monitoring, maintenance, free replacement parts, downtime cover, and insurance. Can you believe it has all of that stuff?
I cannot, except I can because I work here. To learn more about it, click the links below. We've been Charlie and Josh. Please subscribe to this channel.
Bye.
Goodbye.